Milt Larkin and his All-Stars. Down home Saturday night. I don't know, did we get to hear any of that? We didn't get to hear any of it? Hello, is somebody home? Oh, good. We just can't hear it in here, so I wasn't really sure. I am delighted to have Milt, and if you're thinking I don't know too much about this morning, you're right, because we have substitute guests this morning, but I'm delighted they're here. Therefore, I didn't get too much ahead of time, but Margot McElroy and Milt Larkin are here primarily, as I said, to talk a little bit about the Harris County Fair. But also we want to talk about, there's no way I can read this writing, Margot. No, wait just a moment here. Houston Federal Drama Music Center.
CETA Players.
CETA Players. Is that correct?
That is absolutely.
Oh, I can read my writing after all. I scribbled it so fast. Milt is the musical director and co-producer, and Margot is the producer of the CETA Players. And the spot that we just saw coming in was a friend of mine, and Tommy Hollis is, every time I get a chance, I tell people, hey, Tommy Hollis is so talented. He is an incredible talent, and I did not know that he was one of the CETA Players. Tell me a little bit about the organization before we talk about Harris County Fair.
Oh, we have a company of 12 players, Mary Jane. We are organized to take quality performing arts to shut-in audiences. And what you just saw with Tommy was a commercial that is a public service announcement, which is I'm a CETA player. Let us know who you are so that we can come and play for you. At the moment, we are going to Herman Child Care Center, the Center for the Retarded, going into the prisons, have a most unusual project that seems to be shaping up quickly with the alternative school here in Houston. We played last week for the Seaman Center and the USO, the Houston Harris County USO. So we are out in the field.
What's the meat of your presentations?
Units. I think we are always best to think of ourselves as units of professional entertainment made up of musicians, singers, dancers, actors, going wherever true need exists, rendering true public service in an effort to make people feel better who don't have an opportunity by virtue of circumstance to partake in the cultural resources of Houston.
Where does your material come from? Is it geared toward your audiences specifically?
Yes, we have folk song, rock, blues, anything, any type of music. We give all types of music just for everyone, for kids, old people, young,
and everything in between.
Milt Larkin is an American artist of the first rank who actually created much of American jazz. It was his contribution to American jazz that gave us the musical form that we have today. That's the man to my right.
And did you start in Houston, didn't you, Milt?
Yes, I was born in Navasota, but I came to Houston.
That's all right, we'll forgive you.
Came to Houston
you came here real quick.
6 years old. And
when did you start playing?
I started playing when I was 16. I didn't pick up a horn until I was 16. See, music was...
Isn't that kind of late?
It is late now, but then it wasn't. See, music was forbidden then. They thought you would be a bad fellow, and you would do different things.
Was that your religious background?
Well, it was my sister. My sister raised me. My mother passed when I was 13. And my dad when I was 2, so I was raised by my sister.
And she didn't feel that music was a very good
not
influence?
the right thing.
How did she feel when you picked up a horn?
Well, she was very mad. I had from Parker, Parker Music. I paid, I think, $10 down. And if I hadn't put the $10 down, I wouldn't be a musician today. But I was determined to keep it. But she wanted me to take it back.
What led you to pick up a trombone?
The Army. I went to...
No, what do you mean, the Army?
Well, I got drafted, and when I went, I was at Camp Shanks, and I don't know, you know, Buck Clayton, they had about 4 or 5 more trumpet players had gotten there before me, and they only had 2 trombone men. So I wanted to make the band real quick. So I picked up the trombone. And
so you took what was left.
That's right.
May I say that we are funded with the Comprehensive Employment Training Act funds from the mayor's office, the CETA Programs Division. Johnny Brown is the director of the CETA Programs Division, and a man named John Molden was also instrumental in helping us. We have a board of directors that is very powerful, headed up by Doug Toole, John Garrett, Rabbi Kahn, Woodrow Seals, federal judge Woodrow Seals, and Bill Smith at the Texas Medical Center. So we are truly trying to place action where need exists. And I am here because John Blaine has done so much with the fair that is going on this week, and everyone should check the calendar in the paper for events that are coming up, which include a cook-off, trotting races, all kinds of entertainment.
At the Astro Village,
That's right.
And going to be going on through this weekend.
That's right. It's the Houston Harris County Foundation.
Yes.
Right, and I'm not real sure. I thought it was the first annual. It may be the second already.
And of course, the fair is designed to show that there are so many interests for people to adopt in the Houston area. And though we are the space city and the space age, but we have interests for people that range from horticulture to weaving to all kinds of arts and crafts.
With CETA,
Yes.
Is there a training ground?
Oh, from so many different directions. Yes, you have wherever there is unemployment or lack of training, then there are programs that are developed through Comprehensive Employment Training Act to come at those problems. There are some
There's a lot of unemployment always with the actors, the musicians. That hasn't changed a lot, has it, Bill?
Comparable to the migrant worker.
That will go
Yes.
on forever.
Yes.
He's always looking for a platform.
What a musician,
Oh, my, yes.
said, do you have a gig for me?
Yeah, right.
Yes, yes.
It's Christmas time.
Yes.
Is there a training unit within CETA for the young musician or the young dancer or the young
We have a
actor or
workshop
actress?
at Christchurch Cathedral at 1117 Texas Avenue, which is seeking apprentices as well, that is being manned by the professional members of the company, both for themselves and to offer training, skill training to the community
If people were more interested in finding out about that, how would they do it?
They would call us, look for Houston Federal Drama and Music Center.
Are you listed?
Yes, we are. Check information. Yes.
Okay,
that's
not
the
in the
easiest way to
phone
do
book,
that.
then we won't be able to.
That's correct, because we are so new. Or call Christchurch Cathedral. We owe our allegiance for the room, the space, and that is being given us to Christchurch Cathedral. Dean Warren Haynes has been very kind.
You've made a round robin trip, haven't you? You started here and Kansas City. I guess that's where it was all happening. When did you go to Kansas City?
Well, I went to. You want me to tell them everything? I went to Kansas City in 1941. My band was started in 1936. We started to get in. We toured a lot all over Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas.
Was it hard to get the job?
It was. You had to make appearances then. Radio was new.
Yes.
No television. And
Wasn't
when
that
you go into a town, you had to go to the radio station and broadcast. That's the way we got crowds then.
That you were there. Did people enjoy live entertainment, do you think?
They were very happy about it, and it's about to come back now. See, I'm happy to see it come around again. It's coming around again. They want live music now.
You spent a lot of years in New York, too.
37.
Ooh, was that hard to... What brought you back to Houston?
Well, they gave me a day here.
The city honored.
The city of Houston and the Houston Jazz Month Club gave me a day.
Yes.
They gave me a day, and I came down.
And you took a year.
My daughter had been here. My daughter came down for my grandson's graduation. See, I have 12 grands, 4 great-grands. And I came down she came down for his graduation, and she liked it. And she moved here a year before I did. And my young son also came back. So, and then I'm a senior citizen. That's it. I'm
barely,
I'm 69 already.
Are you really?
That's right.
This man is a leader without even showing it. He's built big bands. He's put people together. He's built people.
Who were some of the ones that stand out in your mind as being particularly exciting for you, that perhaps they trained with you, worked with you?
Well, Arnett Cobb is one, Illinois Jacket, Eddie Cleanhead Benson, Wild Bill Davis, a young man named Tom Archer. He's not with us anymore, but he took Chicago by storm when he went there. George Lane was a vocalist I had at that time, and we went to Chicago for 2 weeks. We stayed there 9 months. And then that's when I was going into big time, playing the theaters.
Yes.
That was the war. The war broke out.
Oh, weren't those great circuits that they used to have in theaters?
This was.
And
this
they
was
don't do that anymore.
It's too expensive now. The artists are costing so much money now. Right.
What do you think about it? Do you think that's a good thing?
I don't think it's good. It's not good for the profession. It's not good. I think that they should break it down to everyone make money. Now I'm happy to make money, but it's somehow it's no more promoters.
We need to go where the need exists.
Well, when it's such an exorbitant price. Now, we used to have a wonderful club here in Houston, La Bastille, and they imported lots of the old big bands, etc. And they wanted very much to keep it going, but it got to the point where the price was so exorbitant. And I wonder, you know, it looks to me like a lot of the big bands or groups have outpriced themselves. Where in the world do they work? Just Las Vegas?
Every once in a while. See, that's what makes it so bad. It's no training ground for young musicians. They won't become the Charlie Parkers and you know, Benny Goodmans or nothing like that because they don't. It's too many other outside ways of making money, and musicians is not looked at. It's not looked at as a money-making profession. And
unless you reach that top.
Well, how many can reach it?
No, that's true. But what about the artistic schools that have sprung up in the last few years? New York has a high school for performing and visual arts. Houston has one. Isn't that a good, training ground?
It's a good training ground, but you have to go out. Practice is okay. Playing with, but you have different auditions when you go out.
Yeah.
When you go to different towns, you learn different types of music. See, like I've played all kind of music. I've started with Louisiana type, and which I call Bigfoot jazz, which I like. It's very simple jazz. It's not way extremist. And then went to bebop.
Yeah.
And then went to blues and rhythm and blues. Then went to rock. Now they went to disco. And this music has no place to come back but home with a good sound.
What a neat
See,
thing
people
to
like
say.
sounds now. They begin to like, even the kids, they love sounds. We play for young kids, and they love the old music.
What about country?
Country
That's always
music
going
is
to go
very
on.
big. It's beautiful. See, music. My definition for music, and which was in the book when I taught my own self, is pleasing to the ear. And when it's not pleasing, I don't think it's music. Regardless, I don't care how much horn a person play. If it's not pleasing, I think it should be pleasing. If you stay close to any type of a melody, stay as close as possible, so it will be that song.
Then what's the difference with, for instance, Bigfoot jazz and the super contemporary jazz you can really tell the musicians are thoroughly enjoying themselves.
Well, this is...
Because they're so far gone, they don't even know there's an audience.
Well, this is...
And I always think, gee, I'm supposed to enjoy that. I know I am, but I don't know what they're playing.
Well, this is what we are trying to... I try to talk with some of the musicians, but sometimes I get talked down. But you still have to please the audience to a certain extent. Some guys they don't care whether they please the audience or not.
You think they really feel that way, or is it just chic to say, I don't care?
They rather please the musician. They rather find a musician to say, man, you should play, you should, rather than someone, well, he don't know. What does he know about it?
We are skilled at causing motion from the inside, from other people, from our respective modes. Milt in music, the actor from the acting frame in action, the dancer in the field of motion. But we are skilled by virtue of our thin skin and the craft that we have attached to that to cause feelings in other people. Now, if we depart from that objective, which is to reach the other person, the name of the game is to make you feel better. Then
or sad, or move along with you.
To feel.
You go to a theater or go to a movie.
Yes.
You can always see, you know what's happening. Like if the bones are heavy, somebody's supposed to get socked. If the music is beautiful, it's a love scene or some happiness. And it gets you ready to really enjoy what is about to happen.
What do you want to do now outside of the work that you're doing with CETA?
Well, this is about all I want to do. I want to help young kids, and I want to make people, enjoy music, and this is my life.
We are building.
That's great, Milt.
We are building effort behind defining a market that hasn't really been perceived before, which is the public service market, where people simply cannot make use of the art forms that are available in the city. And the art form is meaningful if it relates to the human being inside. I was speaking with a Soviet ballerina who is in this country now, a most unusual person who is going to be a part of our effort, and with a view toward the regard that the Soviet Union has for the performer, seeing the performer as an absolute necessity in the living experience of every human being. And that's what we're out to do.
They're the translator.
Yes.
Is this album available now, Milt?
Yes, Cactus had it. I don't know whether they still have it anymore. This was a production, my own production and everything.
Your own production?
Yes.
If Cactus Records are out of it right now, well, you can ask, and I'm sure they'll be able to get some more. And again, it's called Milt Larkin and his All-Stars Down Home Saturday Night. There's nothing a whole lot nicer than that. I'm delighted that the two of you could come by and spend a little time with us this morning. I'm so glad to know about CETA.
Thank you.
And I presume that you are always looking for other places to perform.
Yes, ma'am. And yes, ma'am, we'd very much like to come back and tell you more of our story, and want to thank John Blaine particularly for letting us come in his absence today, and hope that as many people as possible get to go out to the fair. It is quite a composite.
Indeed. It's always, country fairs are fun. I like those. And if you would like to find out more about CETA, give us a call and we'll be happy to put you in touch. And again, Margot McElroy and Milt Larkin, and it's the Houston Federal Drama Music Center CETA Players. We're going to take a break and be back in 1 minute. Stay with us.